Welcome to this introduction of kinesiology. I'm Claire Muller and I run the Academy of Systematic Kinesiology, which my father brought over to this country in the 70s. We're going to have a look at some muscle testing today, which taps into the biochemic feedback of the body. And we can ascertain as kinesiologists what's actually going on inside, which is incredibly powerful and empowering. So generally there's three different responses. We have a strong response, a spongy response and a weak response. A strong response is when the person can hold the muscle test really well, easily, without any pain or discomfort, and the muscle locks on. A spongy response is when we get some movement, so it's not completely weak, but it's also not completely strong. The third response is when we apply exactly the same amount of pressure and the muscle completely gives way. So let's have a look at muscle testing now on the table. So we're testing a shoulder muscle here called the supraspinatus. And as we can see, that was a weak response. So what we're going to do now is introduce some nutrition into the energy field to see whether it makes a difference. And in this case, it doesn't. So we'll test another one, see what happens here. And we're now getting a different response where the muscle can fire well, which will help the body regain balance. We're now going to be rubbing some points on the front, and they're called lymphatic points, which alerts lymph to feed and clean the area and help the body clean out all the things that shouldn't be there and bring fluid to the muscle. We're going to rub the back points now, which again is doing the same thing. This particular muscle is connected to the brain, so it's incredibly good for brain fatigue and just feeling tired and stressed in general. We're now going to hold the neurovascular points, which enhance blood flow to the frontal lobes of the brain. Now this really helps with forward thinking, problem solving and rationale. And when we're stressed, it helps the client immediately. We can feel the benefits straight away. We're now going to run the energy line, and in this case it's a central meridian, and if you went to see an acupuncturist, they stick the needles in for you on the energy lines, or meridians as they're known. In kinesiology we just brush them gently. So we're going to retest now and see whether we have regained balance, and that very clearly shows that we have a nice strong muscle there now. Okay, so we're going to go on to a leg muscle, which in this case is the quadricep. And the quadricep muscles are for the small intestine. They represent the energy and what's happening in the small intestine. And we've introduced wheat into the energy field, and as you can see, that has collapsed. So what does that tell us? That information tells us that if Tracy was to eat that regularly, then she could well have digestive disturbances or have achy, heavy legs, and even find it hard to climb upstairs, which is where the quadriceps really come into use for us. So that was a lovely presentation for you, and hopefully you can see from that exactly what we're doing within kinesiology and muscle testing. If you'd like to know more, please look at the details on screen and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you.